What you said? Is it our room?
So I just double checked. Then I went outside and get a cigarette and ran back in there.
There you go with that cigarette. Why y'all smoke like that? I just cannot smoke like that. Like, I can't get the...
All right, ladies, we are
You're not a
live.
smoker.
We are live.
We live. Live at 9.
They can hear you. Facilities.
Can we say good morning to them? No.
No. Now, basically, because we don't want them to have a good
Oh.
morning.
We want everybody to have a good morning.
Not everyone.
Not everybody. I hear my good. They good.
What are you, out of chocolate?
She snotted. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. It's okay, don't cry. Do not cry. Do not cry.
I gotta get down.
What happened?
She's on my tip. She on my tip. Is she getting on the lashes?
I went. She took you out of shop.
What happened? What was said that was that?
Dr.
Barlow was just talking about she eating the chocolate candles.
I didn't do that.
And she slammed
Now
it
it's
down.
like you're out of chocolate.
Oh, what you out of chocolate? And
What
she
did
went.
Pee Wee Herman used to say?
Did
I do that?
Yeah.
That's
what you remind me of. That voice.
Well, there's a whole look.
You should have got the disinfectant.
Where do I get them?
Miss Shawn.
There's
You
a
guys put
whole
my
lot
chips
of
on
being
too.
involved.
I swear to God, you got them on my chips.
I went like,
You know that spray.
the last letter. You got chocolate. She just getting a
I'm
drink.
gonna tell you, I'm away a lot.
Yeah.
I ain't never seen it.
You never know.
Did I get them on you?
Yeah.
Has it been 4 hours yet since we took medicine?
No, girl.
No.
It's only been 3.
Because I'm ready to take my medicine.
You can't have.
It's only been like 3. What time is it?
hurts.
You can't have.
I can't read them kind of 98.
I know.
98.
I know that makes
It's
sense.
2 minutes to 9. Right, Dr. Coleman?
Yeah, we got a couple of minutes.
I will. I was raised in the South. Yes, ma'am. No, ma'am. Yes,
Okay,
ma'am.
I'm just waiting.
Yeah, because she gonna tell me yes, ma'am. I say, girl, I ain't that old. Yeah, that's how old you are.
You ought to go to England and try that.
But I can tell
I
you
say
the
yes,
glasses
ma'am, no, ma'am, but you know, if you're 6 years old,
I can tell you the glasses is thick.
go to England.
Well, my man's
they
glasses
really
is
get
thick
offended.
too. Wait, you come on. Hey, mom, dad, he just got real bad eyes.
She said, hell no, when she put my
Make
glasses
it, make it, baby.
All right?
On my lip. I got astigmatism in both of mine. I got one in my lip.
I can't see on my lip.
But my vision ain't that.
Hey, did you sit down there?
She's fine.
Do they hurt you? Wow.
How many people she was coming?
You're kind of like,
Large. 2. Don't say that.
if she like, like blocking everybody's view.
Say that one more time. I'm running in the room.
That's why you.
You're not yet blocking the sun, so you know.
Like, okay, over now. Oh, he said she not yet black. Oh, no. Here you go.
Did you get that from the meeting?
Yeah.
Fellowship?
Give me that blue Johnny.
Why would you bring that?
That's fine. You learn about that. That'll help me not to smoke.
All righty then. Looks like it is about 9 o'clock. We're going to be here. If you're new this morning, we're going to be here till about 11 o'clock. We're going to take a break somewhere in the middle of this thing. We may take the breaks a little differently today, but we're going to take them. We're going to be talking about life skills. So there's a couple of things. Make sure you get your name on the sign-in sheet.
I think we got gravitated around.
They need to be going around HHSC and TAP. So make sure your name's on there and make sure that other people other than yourself can read it. So
I get it.
I'm going to be doing notes right after group today, and I need to be able to read your name so that I can give you credit for the group. Can't read your name, then I will struggle with it for a couple of seconds, but then after that I go, you just don't get credit. The other thing, y'all excuse me, I'm all choked up.
I just made you.
All right, we're in group. So that means we're paying attention this morning. We need to have brought our books to class. Does everybody have a book?
Yes, sir.
If you're at South and you don't have a book, tell your counselor. If you're brand new this morning, you don't have a book, tell your counselor it's required to bring them to group in the morning with this topical group, and a lot of the topics come out of the book. So if you have a book, and wherever we're studying, you need to begin in the front of the book and go one page by page to the back of the book. We stay here about 6 weeks.
That's all right.
And the book goes for 12. What does that tell you? Say it again.
Continue after we get out.
Yeah, you're not going to, if you follow it the way that it says for you to follow it, you're not going to be able to finish the whole book before you leave here. There is an effort underway right now to redo the book so that it will end when you end. That's not happened yet, so you take the book home with you and you finish it up when you get home. Our goal for the day is going to be what?
Mind your business.
Mind your own business.
Sounds good to me.
Clean around your own front door before you. No, it's not.
Do not lay down in group while you're in teaching.
Yes, do
try-
not keep getting up.
See if we can hold going to the bathroom, and let's try to get a record today. I'm thinking 15, maybe 20 minutes. Because we have within 15 minutes, somebody's going to say, "Can I go to the bathroom?" Yeah.
I don't need the bathroom, but can I go get my book back from Miss Chastity?
Yeah, go get your book. You cannot be in group without your book.
I'm exception.
You are an exception. All right. Go around anyway.
Oh, yes, sir.
Also, so our goal today, look, we're going to be. Yeah, she can go there. You gotta go somewhere. You got to look. Our goal today is going to be understanding life skills and what I need to do.
Yeah.
Everybody was handed out a before the group handout. You take that handout and take a look at the handout. Take a couple of seconds to go down that handout and see which one of those that you may be having issues with. These are life skills. Some of them, look, what's a life skill?
Things you use in life.
Things you use in life. Yeah. What things like cooking? Is that a life skill?
Yes.
Yes, I went in and I saw a lot of y'all were cooking this morning. That was a life skill. Although that in the midst of your cooking, you set the place on fire. That's not a life skill. Right after the fire started, we called the fire department. Is that a life skill? Yes. Knowing how to call the fire department. That's a life skill. Cooking, cleaning. Working, going places, doing things, all of those are life skills. Everybody ought to have one of those, so fill those out just a little bit while we're kind of waiting to get started. What's a good question for today? I have some questions. Yesterday we had. Did anybody in this class get the thing for yesterday?
No.
We actually had one guy at South that got. I didn't think anybody would get that. What was the largest country in the world? What was the smallest country? Russia is the largest country in the world.
And
the Vatican is the smallest country in the world. The Vatican actually has 109 acres. So that's pretty interesting. So, how many people in the world, percentage-wise, and this one's kind of off the beam, but how many people in the world, percentage-wise? And look, if you know it, just go ahead and scream it out so that you can ruin it for everybody else. We have one person at South that just knows everything and wants everybody to know he knows everything.
That's that one right
So,
now.
yeah. So if you know it, look, I was being facetious. Don't scream it out. How many people by percentage in the United States of America are left-handed? Think about that. Ooh, I know that. I know that. I know that. So look, y'all hold. If you know it, if you don't know it, look. Come up with a good guess, because on Friday it's what? What is Friday?
It's my first round.
This is your first day?
No, Monday was my first day. I got
I'm
pulled out
left-handed.
yesterday. Just like,
She left-handed.
this is my first time in group in the
Oh,
morning.
this is your first. This is your first time in group.
As well as Miss Jessica.
Oh, that person too.
She's still in the
Okay.
school. I'm that person.
Look, I wasn't here yet.
Do you have books? Okay. All right. Good deal. All righty then. So, what were we talking about yesterday? About what were we saying?
Russia.
Russia. Yeah.
I was talking about like
Oh no. Friday. What Friday is? Friday is donut. Friday's donut day. So look, I'm not buying everybody donuts. But what I am going to do is the folks who get the questions correctly, I'm going to buy them a donut. So we have one young lady who just sits here. She gets.
That just gives you an excuse to go to the donut place.
Yep. So
Yes, it does. I'm not eating donuts.
It's not enough.
Extension is all to get the answer wrong.
Well, yeah.
Get what?
Yeah. So I'm not eating donuts,
I know.
but I'm going to. I'm going to nail this. All right.
All right, guys.
We are very verbal this morning. I appreciate that, but it has to be verbal toward whatever's going on in the group. So here we go. So we're going to be skill building. How many people filled out their thing?
I'm not all.
I started to.
Okay. So we're going to go through that a little bit. What's the thing on over here? What is this? This is a very poorly drawn thing, but I didn't have time to do a really nice one. So what is this morning? I know you can't see it very well at South, but this is a person, and they've got their hands up in the air like that, and this over here is what?
A trophy. Okay.
This is some kind of weird trophy over here that is a life skill that they may be having some issues with or something, but what are they saying?
They did.
Yeah, I can do that. Whatever it is, I can do that. Here's the deal. When we are in our addiction, our life skills suffer.
It's a ginger root.
Yeah.
Our life skills suffer. One of the things that is a real life skill is working. You know, what do we have to do if we're working? If we have a job, what do we have to do?
Get up and work.
We have to work. We have to get up in the morning, and we have to go. This morning I got here at 6:45 in the morning. I'm not on duty that early in the morning, but that's when I got here, and it was a good thing because I discovered that the dumpster was burning down. We were about to lose our dumpster, and without the dumpster, we have to shut down the whole business.
Oh,
Now, we just can't. We cannot operate without a dumpster.
Touche.
So here we are. We made it. The dumpster is still alive. All of that kind of stuff. But one life skill that I have to have first is to find a job. We need to get some work. Once we get some work, we need to be about going to work, doing what is expected of us.
Yes, sir.
So what's expected of us when we go to work?
Do you, Joe?
Work
Do-
hard.
Be on time.
Be on time. Let me ask you, anybody here ever habitually late?
No.
You're late all the time?
Yeah. That's usually me.
You're late all the time?
Yeah, most of the time.
Why do you think we're late to work, late to school, late to our own
I have poor management skills, poor time management.
poor time
You
management?
don't want to be there.
You really don't want to be there.
There's no routine or structure.
There's no routine or
Amen.
structure in your life. Maybe all of those are true. What else?
You lack motivation.
You lack motivation. Yeah, and I keep telling y'all this because, it's just a source of pride for me. I'm also a CART, Certified Anger Resolution Therapist. It's a sign of hidden anger. If you're always getting to work late, there's something in your life that you're angry about. You might not even know what it is. You might not even know that you're angry, but you're taking that out on your employer. You're stealing. When you don't come to work, if you're 15 minutes late every time, especially if you're like on salary and they pay you anyway, you're stealing from your employer. So that's pretty bad. So we talked about what's some other life skills? Communication. I'm glad you said that. Communication is a magnificent life skill. And how many of us know that we do fairly poorly at communication? Yeah. What is 50% of communication?
Talking.
Listening is 50% at least of communication. Do you believe that you can be in class and be in a communication relationship? How do we communicate in class? Right, you giving feedback to the facilitator. What else? We just said that
Listening to the facilitators.
we just said that listening is 50% of communication, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's 50% of communication. So if you're talking to somebody else in class, are you listening?
No. You communicate.
If you're writing a letter home, are you listening?
No.
If you're doing your treatment plan while you're in class, are you listening?
No, sir.
No. So you should be paying attention to what's going on in this class because you get credit for this class and all of that kind of stuff. And I scope you out. I know what you're doing. And then I get you on that. So if you have your book with you, I want you to turn over in the book to page 80. Page 80. And now, remember what we just said about the book?
Yeah.
What did we say?
You have to have it for class.
You do have to have it for class, but if you're brand new, you start in the front of the book and then you work your way through to the back of the book because that's the way the program's set up for you to ease yourself through the book. However, at the same time, we're going to be studying it and we're going to go well past where you are, but that's okay. Because we're going to study that portion of the book today, but then when you go back to your free time or your study time, all that stuff, you go back to where you're supposed to be. Don't jump ahead to where we are in the class, right?
Right.
Because, we always, new people are coming in, so it's actually the only way we can do it. But I want to look at assignment 13 real quickly today. So get your book, and we're just going to ease through that a little bit this morning. Here's the goals of the exercise. Accept the truth about the problems addiction has caused, and enter a program. So here, you've already entered a program, right? How many people do you think come into a program like this and still don't accept the fact that they have a problem with drugs and alcohol?
Probably about 75%.
Yes.
Probably that's a good number, maybe 75, 80%. No. Most people who come into a treatment facility come in with some denial issues.
I was one of those.
Yeah, I was one of them. Yeah, you go into a treatment facility because somebody says you go into treatment.
Yeah, you have to.
You need, somebody else said, you need treatment. I don't care what you think. You need treatment. You're going to treatment. See the police. They'll say, you know what you need? Yeah, your probation officer. You know what you need?
I'm still in denial.
Yeah, you still in denial. I know that. You know, she
He
sitting
said,
over
"I
there in
know
the
that."
corner and look, eating a cookie in group and saying proudly, not saying, well, you know, I'm still in a little bit of I'm still in denial.
Yeah.
That's who I am. You got my middle name denial because I ain't got no problems, you know, and we do that. And we look, a lot of the times, do you know that people who come in to a group like this in a state of denial will sometimes leave that program in a state of denial?
I do.
Yeah, you're gonna stay here forever. We already got that.
There you go, Papa.
All right. So, and here's the thing: your counselor and myself and Mr. Farmer and everyone else is trying to get you out of that state of denial. I'm going to tell you something, even if you don't know it, even if you don't believe it, and I can see that guy over there in the south that's shaking his head. But look, we got problems. We're not here because we were singing too loud in Sunday school. We're here because alcohol or drugs of some other ilk has gotten us by the yin yang and torn us up. No, you're fine. It was just amazing to me how much attention you just got it. Y'all, everybody look and just, you know, y'all do it like she's doing it.
I know.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Dr. Gordon.
You're going to be,
Chair.
ma'am, who said something to me I didn't understand?
Sir,
Man, I'll try everybody stare at her.
Yeah, stare at her. See what she's doing. So here's the deal. It says, look, accept the truth. You know, help me to know what the truth is. Right? Accept the truth about myself. If I cannot accept the truth about myself, I'm not ever going to get better. Not ever going to get well. What's that got to do with life skills?
Everything.
Everything. Because here's the deal. If I stay where I am, I'm not ever going to get to where I want to be. I want to live a life of what?
Sobriety.
Oh, no, not me. Sobriety means I've quit drinking for today.
Recovery.
Yes, I want to live a life of recovery. If I'm in sobriety, what's that change? What has changed?
nothing really.
I have stopped drinking. I'm not drinking right now. That's what has changed. If I'm in a life of recovery, what has changed?
Nothing.
Everything.
Everything. So when everything changes, then everything changes. That means when everything changes, and I know I beat on this, but this because it's the most important thing you're going to hear while you're in treatment. If everything changes in my life, that means that there are people in my life need change. There are people in my life that I need change. I need them out of my life. And look, I do know this. There's people in this group here, people in that group at South, and in both groups, there's people that say, you can suck the slime right out betwixt my toes because I'm going back, right? Because I love them people. All right, going back.
Slime from betwixt my toes.
Going back. Here's the deal. After the 6th or 7th time, you know, you figure out, hey, you know what? That person might be part of the issue. And if they're part of the issue, they need to be part of my recovery. When I say at that one, I will never go back. And, you know, and there's places I can't go, and there's things that I can't do, and there's all those things. In a life of recovery, that's what happens. That's the first thing I need to do. Figure out what I can't do. Once I've figured out what I can't do, which is pretty extensive, then I need to start figuring out what I can do. I've had people look at me like, oh my God, you know, if I quit going to the same old people, the same old places, the same old things, my life is going to be miserable. It's going to be, you know, drab and dull and all of this kind of stuff. That's why we say one day at a time. Yes.
Okay, I think that our choice of words are very important to us on a daily basis. So, like, words like can't and won't are two different things. You know, like, I won't do this. I'm not going to allow myself to do this. But if I can't, I'm giving myself an option still. You see what I'm saying? So,
I do see what you're saying.
Yeah.
She said words mean things, and words do mean things, but words also mean things to different people.
Oh, yeah.
Here's what I tell
Manor
you.
should say this.
Here's what I'm going to tell you. You know that you need to do these things. Whatever works for you. And so I'm not going to tell you to do something that it hadn't worked so far. I have people in treatment telling me how I ought to do my treatment. I have people who's smoking telling me how to quit.
Yeah.
I have big people telling me how to lose weight. Okay, it ain't working for you, but you're going to tell me it's going to work for... No, look, look, whatever works for you to keep you in your recovery will work for you.
Yeah.
Whatever works. Do whatever works. But here, you can take some advice, we don't really give advice, but take some training. We have, over the last 100 years, figured out a few things about how to stay off drugs and alcohol. Take some of that training and use it.
Well, yeah, I mean, you're living proof.
Living proof. Yeah, sure, absolutely. All right. So here's the deal. Accept the truth about ourselves. Accept the truth about our situation. Look, most of us haven't relapsed just once. This isn't usually the first time. A lot of the times we've relapsed a couple of times, 3 times, 4 times. Sometimes we've relapsed. Is there anything wrong with that? No. It's a disease. It's going to get us it's going to happen time and time again. But here's the deal. We want to come to that one place where we get it into remission and we keep it there.
Yeah.
We're still an addict, perhaps, but we've got it into remission. We're not active in it. We want to get it to that place and keep it there. So what I need to do, and we're a little bit far afield, but what I need to do is look at what happened to me last time that caused my relapse, and don't do that. If it hurts when you do this, don't do that. If you fall off every time you go over there to see Bubba or Bubette, don't do that. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Does it work out that way?
No.
Not usually. So that's why we have to get help doing the right thing. We need to get help doing the common sense thing. We need to get help not doing the stupid thing. Me going to the bar would be a stupid thing. I had bars that I went to, and when I went and sat down, they knew what I drank, and they brought it to me. When I was in Germany, the guy there at the old club would bring me a screwdriver. When I sat down, he saw me walk in the door. I'd go sit down, and it would be there for me.
What is that? What is that example of? I wasn't here.
This is a spaceship.
Oh, it's a spaceship.
Yeah, and she's going to get in the spaceship.
It's a trophy.
I mean, I don't know what it was. I had to ask.
It kind of looks like a cake.
No,
I was thinking a cake with a tree popping out or something. I mean, I didn't know.
It's a trophy. We talked about that at length before you got into the class.
Oh.
But it's a trophy for this person being able to perform well in the life skills that they need to perform well in. So we are good. Look, we have not done well in our life skills. We give up a lot. When we were in our addiction, we gave up a lot of our life skills. We didn't do well at our job. Now look, I went to work most of the time, but a lot of times I'd go to sleep. When I'd go to work, I wouldn't do the job as well as I ought to do the job because I was either hungover or high. And you just don't do that well. At home, I wasn't doing that. Look, when the grass needed cutting, the county will come by and cut the grass. And so they won't they won't keep your lawn up, and all that stuff. Cooking, cleaning, doing all of the things, having transportation, doing the things I need to do to maintain a stable lifestyle. I wasn't able to do all of those things. Now, some people can. What do they call those folks? A functioning addict or functioning alcoholic. And look, that doesn't make them any better off than we are. They're still an alcoholic. right?
They
And they're
just
still
become-
wasting time and wasting money and wasting a life, chasing after the dragon and doing all the crazy crap that we used to do. But here's the deal. When I was in the midst of it, my life skills suffered badly. And nowadays, my life skills don't. I can do whatever I need to do. Do I always do everything perfectly?
No.
No, I screw
all
up
make
from time
mistakes,
to time. Yeah, I screw up from time to time. I'll miss this. I'll forget that. I won't do this. I'll wake up late. Something happens. Yeah, this morning, saw one of our ladies walking down the road. I'm going, I was going somewhere else, not that much of a gentleman, or I'd stop, picked her up, and brought her on to the office, but she can walk. Yeah.
Wonder.
So I came back to ask, what's going on, and she had a flat,
Oh.
and the car's over there getting fixed and all of this kind of stuff, but. We have those things that are going to happen in our lives that's going to do something to our, what we're trying to do that day and mess our life skills up just a little bit. But does it show that she had great life skill?
Yeah.
She did pretty. What did she do? She had flat. What did she do?
Bring it to the tire shop to get fixed.
Yeah, there were times when I'd just leave it on the side of the road or sit there and go to sleep in my car. So she has her life skills in place. She took it to the shop. And then, instead of sitting at the shop for 2 hours waiting for it to get prepared, what did she do?
Exercise.
She got some exercise by doing what?
Walking.
She walked to work. She went on to work.
I'm so sorry. I'm sorry. I was trying not to say.
You're fine. You're fine. This is normal for our group. What happened?
I'm sorry though. I didn't
That's fine. You're fine. It is what happens around here. Life skills get kicked in the face every time we turn around. Go in the group, get in the group on time. Is that a good life skill?
Yes.
Why do we yell about you coming to group on time?
Because you miss things if
You
you're not
missed the
here.
point.
Well, you do miss things when you're not here, but what else?
Distraction.
You are distracting people.
I love watching you on the TV.
I
Yeah.
like when you
You'll be
be
station
out.
and then you'll go.
Well, people get up and walk out. So the real reason we're really strict and we really want you to be on time, and we're practicing for when we get out of here.
There you go, Brandon.
Because when somebody says, yes, I will give you a job. When Mr. Farmer said, yes, I will allow you to come to work here and do the goofy stuff that you do. And then, hey, every 2 weeks, I'll give you a little something for it. And then he says, but I expect you to be here every day, and I expect you to be here all the time. And so this is practice for being out there. That's why, look, you're not going to come into a group late and not be noticed. You're not going to sneak in. We used to have a person who snuck in and thought she was in church. Finger up, yeah. Yeah, finger up. Yeah, okay. And I hate to tell folks, but if you're in church and you're trying to sneak out to go to the bathroom or something, when you put your finger up there and you're walking, that's more disruptive than just going. Go on. Hey, look, they got their finger up in there. So anyway, that is what that's all about. It's practice. And so, when we tell you, look, what would be a really good idea? Now, this is brilliant. This is brilliant. Okay, this is something that's this was well thought out. It was researched by the team that we have here for years and years and years before we finally came to this conclusion. It would be a magnificent thing for you to go to the bathroom before group.
Whoa.
Yes, this is life changing. We've had people come in here, we'd be in group, and the people in their 20s and 30s, and 15 minutes into group, they got to go potty. So all of that is helping us with your life skills. If you get a good job and you go to that job and your boss says, okay, I need you to do this, and you say, well, all right, but I got to go to the bathroom first.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Well, you're not going to do too well at that. So accept the truth. Know that there's some problems that addiction has caused. Know that we're here in a program of recovery for a reason. We just need to take that. Sometimes, look, my pride and my ego can get in the way of trying to get sober, trying to get right, trying to get into a life of recovery. You can't tell me I got a problem. Yes, can. Yes, can. I can do that. I can take a look at you. I've been trained all these years to see all of that kind of stuff, and I have been where you are. So I know. I know when you got a problem. Other people can see your problem a lot of the times. Other people can see your problem a whole lot earlier than you can. We want to deny. I don't have. I'm all right. I can quit anytime I want to. Is that true?
No.
Yes, it is. It absolutely is true. I quit 3,000 or 4,000 times. And you can quit. That's not the issue. What's the issue? Stay and quit. Stay and stop. Staying off in the mess. Staying away from it. I can quit anytime. It's just like smoking. Every time that you have to come back to group, you got to quit smoking. We don't allow smoking off in the group, right?
No.
No. But y'all do go out there and smoke, and then when you come back in here, it smells like that dumpster out there on far.
I think so.
Yeah, it did. The whole building smell bad, and then when y'all go smoke, it just smells bad. Anyway, so the second thing is like, look, now this is important, and we're going to get off of this in a second, but I didn't want y'all to see this. Cooperate. Cooperate with addiction assessments. When you sit and you do your assessment, a professional. Now, sometimes you look at your counselors and you don't see them. You see them as friends, you see them as partners, you see them as helpers, you see them, but you don't really look at them as an addiction professional. They've gone to school, they have their degrees, they've done all this stuff, and they're in recovery themselves. Some of your counselors were way farther in their addiction than you will ever be. So so they know where you are, how you feel, what's going on. They know the stress and the strain and all of that stuff that they know all of that. So when they do the assessment, which is a professional medical assessment, take that at face value. You're the one who gave them the information, and then when at the end of it, he comes back up and says, well, you're severely addicted. You need some help. Don't say, well, that ain't true. No. It's true. So cooperate with the addiction assessment, accept the diagnosis, and work the treatment plan. Right? I'm going to tell you something. I'm one of the trainers, and I'm the auditor. I go by and look at every treatment plan that's ever written. So I look at your treatment plan, and then I go talk to your counselor, and then we talk a little bit about that. And so your treatment plan is set up to do what?
To treat you.
Help you get through this thing. Help you get through treatment. Help you make some decisions for your life that's going to change the things in your life that need changing. And this is the other place that we need to get to. There are things in my life that need changing. Right? Look, if your life was in really good shape and all of that kind of stuff, you wouldn't need to be here. Right? So, all right, real quickly, formulate a set of personalized recovery goals. What does that mean?
Set a goal for yourself.
What does that mean?
Like setting a goal for yourself.
And that's a good point. It says come up with a set of personalized goals. Because we're going to help you come up with some goals. But let me tell you something. The goals have to be yours.
Right.
When I look on the goal, when I look at a treatment plan and it says this is the goal, I want to see what you said. I want to see yours. I want to know what your goals are for your life, okay? So you're going to have your personalized recovery goals, learn general goal achievement life skills. That's what we're talking about today. These are goal achievement life skills to enhance chances of long-term success and quality of life. Let me ask you something. If we get out of here, we leave here, and we go back to where we were, and we can't get a job, what's that going to do?
Set us back.
It's going to set us way back. It's going to bring stress into our lives, and what do you think that might cause?
Relapse.
Stress causes what? She had to go to the bathroom. The group's been going on for 30 minutes, so we beat our thing. So she usually goes at about 15 after. She made it to 25 after. So that's 10 extra whole minutes. Yeah. But so what does that do?
What was the question?
Then look, learn general goal achievement life to enhance chances of long-term success and quality of life. So if I leave from here, look, I have to have some employment. I have to have a job. I have to have money coming in. So I go out and I can't get a job, and that causes a lot of stress on me. Where does that take me? It'll take me to a place of victimhood. Mm-hmm. And when I become a victim, what happens?
You start using it again, you relapse.
Say it again.
You relapse.
You can relapse. You don't necessarily have to relapse, but almost anybody that gets into a victim stance is going to wind up. I can't get a job. Pour me another drink. We get to that place. So we don't ever need to get into a place where we are a victim. So if I can't get it, what's going to keep me from getting a job?
Free yourself.
Say it again.
Relapse
will keep me from getting a job, but before I relapse and all that stuff, I'm in pretty good shape. I'm sober. What's going to keep me from getting a job? Denial.
Motivation.
Not being motivated. How about not having the skills?
Because you don't have communication skills.
Yeah, you don't have good communication skills. You can't tell the people what you can do. You don't know how to do a resume. Anybody here done a resume here lately? Okay, your counselor will help you do a resume, all of those kinds of things. We need to have job-seeking skills. But once we get our job-seeking skills, we need one other thing. We need a skill that we can sell, right? If you're a nurse, can you get a job?
Yeah.
If you're a counselor, can you get a job?
Yes.
How about a welder?
Yes.
Yeah, but you got to be something. You have to be something. Can you make a living as a waitress?
Yeah, you can.
Yeah, you can make really good money. Sometimes you can make really good money. My daughter is a nurse, but she worked while she was going to school. She worked at the Black Eyed Peas. And my daughter is a beautiful young lady. And who is it with you? You're like, she only got in here 3 seconds ago.
I know, it's not for me, but they don't want to interrupt they made me do it.
But I understand. So you want anybody else? Are you just, would you like everybody? We could have everybody come and just the ones you don't need you can send back.
I hate to leave, but I have to do that first.
Well, this is okay. It's fine. No, I'm kidding with you. This group isn't all that important.
It's part of their life skills.
Part of their life skills. You're right. That's a good way to look at it. So we have to have that skill. That's not.
No, it's not.
Yes, actually, it is mine.
Where's mine?
I don't know what you did with yours, but
Extra right there.
He said, that's not.
the fact that you lost yours don't mean it's okay if you steal mine.
This was in here before you got here.
That's another life skill. But see, I have all of these. I have 3 sheets on mine. That one's not. There's yours.
That's extra.
All right. See, all of that is not disruptive to the class at all. We just need y'all to understand that. That's not. So increase investment in recovery and practice new skills between sessions and all of that kind of stuff, right?
At least I'm still here.
We need to be working. Of course you can be excused, Judge. Okay.
My pants ripped.
All right, so we're going to go over our little thing here kind of quickly, and we'll come back to our book and stuff like that before this is all over with. But we need to know that we need to build some skills, right?
Yeah.
We all need some skills. I will tell you this. Now, I was being a little bit facetious earlier and all of that kind of stuff, but the classes that we do that are in the book, and they are important. They are things that we can use. People coming in and out disrupt that. People going to the bathroom disrupt that. So because we miss that, our minds are not on what we're supposed to be doing.
Only if we let it.
Ma'am?
Only if we let it.
Only if we let it. Yeah. Well, but you can't. Sometimes you can't count that.
Yeah.
I mean, if you have somebody come in and like one lady just danced out of the room, if that's not you, there's no way for you not to let that disrupt you. Everybody here, notice that. So you can't say that. So here's some of the things. Look, you got our little deal here. These are skills for change. This is a skills for change chart, and we went through this thing. So here's the deal. We need to think about the first time you tried something new. You remember the first time you tried something new, like a sport, maybe fishing, playing basketball, whatever it was that first time, and you had no idea how to do that. How did that make you feel?
Good.
It made you feel good. You're a little different. Most people felt kind of, less than. Most people feel a little bit stressed, inadequate. Good word. Most people felt a little like they were not able to do it, and sometimes it would hurt your self-esteem just a little bit because you couldn't do it.
Yeah, couldn't do it. Time. Practice makes perfect. I forgot the question already. I'm sorry. It's called brain fart. What was it again? Just reiterate. That's all.
Reiterate.
Yeah, that's it.
Think about the first.
Again. What did you say?
Think about the first time you ever tried to do anything.
Oh.
See, you're not paying attention. You tell me you are, but you're not. So think about the first. See, that's the big thing. Try, pay attention. That would be the very first time try to do that. So it's kind of hard because you don't know how to do it, and it makes you feel a little less than sometimes because you can't do it, and just about everybody else can. Right? And so it makes you feel a little bit things. So look, a sport, something. So how did you feel when you didn't know what you were doing? Now think about how you felt after you obtained a level of skill at the same time. Now, can I tell you right now that I'm not a fisherman? But my father-in-law, when I got married to my honey, my father-in-law was an avid fisherman and a really good fisherman. When he went fishing, he would bring back these huge catfish and all of that stuff. One time, he had a catfish who the snout of the catfish was touching the back of his pickup truck, and the tail was hanging out over the tail. It was like 109-pound, big old huge catfish. And he caught them. He just, with regularity, he caught those things. And so he said, "I'm going to take you fishing with me." I said, "Okay." I said, I had no idea how to do that. I come from, Meridian. We didn't have any place. He said, "Okay, come on with me." He said, "I'm going to take you to a guaranteed fishing hole. I want to take my guaranteed bait and let you use a guaranteed pole. And guaranteed, we didn't catch a thing. We didn't catch anything that day." He was so mad. He said, "You destroyed my fishing hole."
I heard dog food was the best to catch catfish.
Say it again.
I heard dog food was the best to catch catfish.
No, I think dog food you catch.
No, I'm dead serious. I was at a catfish hole and we threw dog food in and they just went swarming like it was that Pantu place. That's where it was.
Well, they have a thing called steak.
They caught 8 catfish in a row.
They have a thing called steak bait. And that's what you catch a lot of catfish.
I was trying to tell you, man, there's a catfish hole over there by Red Roof, and you throw dog food in there, and now they just come swarming like they ain't.
Well, I will tell you this: I've not used dog food, but if it works, it works. I'm sure it will. I've thrown off. I've never seen them come up, but I have caught a lot of catfish. After I learned how to do it. But the second thing is think about how you felt when you finally learned how to catch fish. or you finally learned how to do all that stuff. You remember when you were trying to learn how to drive a car?
Yes.
Yeah. And you remember the first time you got behind the wheel and the whole world was in danger? You remember all of that? You remember how nervous and all of that you felt? And then once you got it, that day you went down to the DPS and they said, well, you're good enough to get licensed to drive. You can just drive everywhere. Remember how good you felt about that? Yeah. Did you pass your driver's license test on the first go round?
I did.
Did you?
I passed with a 98.
You passed with a 98. See how she still feels good about it. She's a grown woman now, but she feels good about that. I got 98. Yeah. What did you get on your driver's test?
Yeah, you talking to me?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, the first time I made, I'll tell you the truth. Okay, I did not smoke a joint on purpose, and I went in and I took the driver test and I failed. Okay, and I smoked a joint and I went back in and I made 100. So, that was my. I'm sorry that it was, ass backwards. What treatment one did you do?
No, I'm
It's
still
not on the
caught up on. I smoked a joint by mistake.
No, I did it on purpose. It was actually like a little test to me because, I was trying real hard not to smoke because I swear if I smoke a joint, I feel smarter. I mean, I'm just more alert. I'm aware. I'm alive. If I don't, then I'm like, But that's just how it was, And so I did not smoke one on purpose. You know what I'm saying? Just to, because that's what people were like, no, you can't do it. But then whenever I smoked one and I went in there and I took a test, I made 100. I mean, what was the point?
I don't know why you want to get off drugs. I mean, drugs seem to be.
I'm just saying,
And we will talk about that a little bit.
Please.
Not today, but we'll talk about that because that's probably if God would let me get rid of one drug, just one. I could pick one drug that would not be on the face of the earth anymore. It would be marijuana.
Oh, really?
Yes, that's the worst drug out.
Oh, no.
So now think about how you felt when you obtained the level of skill at that same task. When we get out there now, we drive, we feel like that's just the next thing to do. That's just normal. So if I get a skill at working, then when I go to my job, that's just normal. That's what we do. That's what I do, and I have that skill. If I get up to go cook, then I know that I have that skill. My wife told me the other day that I could boil some eggs on my own if I needed a boiled egg. So you have to get the water over the top of the egg, and that 25 minutes may be a little bit too long to boil your egg. They will break and it was good. So she let me do the fiasco, then she taught me how to do it. Now I can boil an egg. I feel pretty good about that. I know that I'm not going to starve to death. If she passes away before me, I'm going to be able to boil eggs. Right? And they say they tell you are what you eat. So I keep looking under my arms to see if there's some pin feathers coming out from under there. So it's like that. So here's the deal. Obviously, once we get some skill in an area, usually our motivation. And we've talked a lot about motivation this morning, our confidence and our enthusiasm to try to do something increases, right? So if I'm enthused about it, I have confidence that I can do it. When somebody says, hey, I need you to drive me somewhere, do you have the confidence to say, yeah, I'm going to get in that car and I'm going to take you there?
I'm just scared to drive on the highway.
You're scared to drive?
On the highway.
And you made almost 100 on your driving test, but you're scared to drive. Okay.
Yeah, because I'm scared of heights.
All right. So most people, anyway, the same is true with regard to building the skills to do what we need in our lives without drugs and alcohol. All of these skills we need without drugs and alcohol. Gaining some skills can be extremely empowering in the change process. We don't need to be, two things. We don't need to be dependent upon any drug to keep us at a place where we are being able to facilitate life. We don't need that. The other thing, if we are still romancing the drug, we need to stop. The drug is not your friend. It is not good for us. It was the coping skill that we used while we were out there using it. We're no longer using it. So we need to get that out of. We're not using anything. There's no drug. No drug. We had a lady here. I know y'all remember her. She said, "How long is it? How long do I have to stay sober before I can drink again?" Y'all remember her?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. How long do you think it's going to be before? Look, we got to stop this thing forever and ever and ever and ever, right? How many people have taken castor oil?
Me. So have my baby. So maybe
Yeah, same here, and it didn't work. It just takes
How many people would prefer not to use castor oil again? It is horrific.
Yeah.
It's like drinking 10-weight motor oil. It's terrible. It's horrible. So here's the thing. Is it going to be a hard thing for you not to use castor oil? No. So we need to be thinking about our drugs and alcohol the same way. It's not something that we would really like to do. It's just that we can. It's something I don't want in my life anymore. So, without drugs and alcohol, gaining it can be extremely learning to cope with anxiety, to manage stress, to manage anger, or to overcome depression without relying on getting high could be the difference maker that ignites the flame of inspiration, hope, and readiness for change. This is y'all know who Dean Koontz is?
Yes, I like it.
You do? You know who that is? I have no idea who that is.
He's an author.
He's a who's?
An author.
I thought his name was Dean. So his name is Arthur?
No, he writes books.
Oh, he writes books. I don't know.
His name is
I don't know who he is. That shows y'all my limitations. But he said, I really believe that everyone has a talent, ability, or skill that he can mine to support himself to succeed in life.
True.
That's true, right? I mean, we all have, look, we are brilliant. You guys can speak, y'all can walk, you can talk, you can do all of that kind of stuff. So if we can do that, we can get some of these life skills working well in our lives without drugs and alcohol. Yes, ma'am.
Maya Angelou said, God gives you a gift, and what you do with that gift is you give back to God.
Well, that's true, isn't it? Y'all hear what she said? God gives you a gift. What you do with that gift is your gift back to God.
Yeah.
Is that true? I don't know how true it is. It sounds really good, though, doesn't it?
That's not Angela.
Yeah.
It's just another quote from.
It is another
somebody who's
quote.
famous.
And it's pretty neat. I like it. I like it, but the gift that you give back to God is what?
Life.
You. Yourself. All He asks is you. Yeah.
Okay, Babe Ruth said, never let the fear of striking out keep you from playing the game.
Well,
Okay. Myrtle Swanson said, if you put that thing back in that jug like you did before, I'm going to knock your eyes out. That's just another quote from a person. So, all right. So here's the deal. We're going to go over our skills thing here, but we're going to wait until after we take our break, and we're not quite ready to take our break right now. So someone tell me out of this class right here, what is the most important skill that we need to build right now?
Communicate.
Life skill.
Communicate. Coping.
Coping. What's that?
Social skills.
Eating.
Social skills.
Life skills,
Eating.
self-care
Life
skills.
skills.
Eating. I've watched you guys in group. I think y'all got eating down. That's a skill, y'all.
My coping skills, I feel like it's probably.
Well, and here's the deal. She said we need to have good coping skills, and that's what we're going to talk about.
Communication skills.
But coping skills is huge.
It's a big.
That's everything.
Yeah.
Communication. That's a really good skill, and that one is not very well practiced.
Communication has
Not in this room.
Communication skills.
Said well?
I said not this room.
Well, not in this room. It's not practiced very well. We started off, said that communication is one of the coping skills that we need to have. Communication between couples is a big deal. Communications in a group like this is a big deal. Communications if you're going to go to work and you sit down before somebody and talk to them about you going to work there, is that we need good communication there.
Yes.
Yeah, we have to have communication skills. But can you build communication skills?
Yes.
Yeah, and we will have a communication class. I have a pretty good communication class that we can go through, but you have to learn that skill. Now, here's a really, really good point that we need to get hold of. Every one of the skills that we need can be learned, right? All the communication skills can be learned. Skills in life can be learned. How not to tear up other people's material that's on the wall and stuff during class. All of that can be learned.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a good thing. So we're going to go ahead and take us a break. Let's get back, and we're going a little bit early, but let's get back at 15 after. It gives you time to do things to your lungs and all of that. And we'll see you back then, and we'll finish out.
Do things to your lungs.
I need to see
Extracurricular activities.
This right here? Yeah, you can read that. This is a assessment. I still have to read.
everything that I have the ones on the table or in that bag.
I hope you can read it. Can you read it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Is this
That's why I said I was
This is for my treatment plan. I'm getting.
I know, you're fine, Jazz. You always keep it on
You're
that.
more welcome to read it. If I didn't want to
I know, I'm saying Jazz has been on the show on that. It's just like I've left them in here.
Oh, I was doing this too.
well, I don't
No, mate.
Class. I don't have to go today. I was doing this as well. I just got done with most of it. She got.
Oh, she got him.
This one hasn't been. Let's take what I have.
Brooklyn.
Dr. Glenn, she is my daughter's name.
Yeah.
I have to. This one stumped me. This one's Brooklyn. So
Well,
I gotta come back to that.
and that's okay.
One of them stumped me.
What you did? You finished it?
No, one of the questions has me stumped. So I had to.
Which question?
Number 4. How can you overcome barriers and obstacles? Well, I'm gonna have to think.
Staying on track, staying sober.
See?
Easy. Look,
Hold on.
what you here for?
Recovery.
What you said? She said. Like, shut up. Let that man talk. And then you keep on falling.
I can tell it's bothering him. It's bothering him.
I'm about to go to the show and make somebody come sit in here.
Oh,
Cause this is getting out of hand. It's
she's
pissing.
not letting him tea.
It's pissing Brady.
I know.
You know, she turned around like, she gonna lie.
I'm going back on down.
I can't get over there.
Oh man.
Look, and I ain't moving right now. I ain't moving right now.
You know what? It's all good. You ain't gotta move.
Thanks, babe.
Come on.
We can do it outside.
I might need 2 cigarettes. I'm not dealing with this one.
I'm sorry.
No, it's not you. Don't be sorry.
I feel pretty.
Do you?
So beautiful.
Or is it your color page?
My coloring page. And me.
Oh.
I'm probably about the naturalist beauty you'll ever meet.
I need to put ice on. Oh, yeah.
But it's why? Because she not well, that one before we they like twins. They both don't know how to shut up. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You know something wrong because she's not talking. She usually talk to. But I feel bad for y'all, Lord Jesus.
I hate the shit out of it.
And you right there. And you won't try to walk in front of you and try to be seen. Like, no. Why?
Her first time going to church. And
She
she got
messed up.
people fucking
In trouble.
bringing. She got people bringing her fucking sick.
She outside of here because she's in school. But like I told her, and like I told Miss Erin yesterday, I made it very clear to her, do not tell her that she still did. Don't care. You're not really here for her good. Just like going to church, that was your only intention when you found out that he was there. That's what you want to tell. You don't want to go to church at first until you heard me say, "Oh, I can't wait to go." And she would be cool. I like laughing, talk to him. I know him. Tell him. And you came to church. She went to church with me. Where's baby? To this. Come on. Like, I don't like to talk about people. Stupid stuff that you know you shouldn't read. And what they say, take accountability. Not taking accountability. You notice after everything was said and done, she's gone. She didn't. Like, what? No process. She probably did the same thing. We got one more hour with this. I'm glad she not in my process. She in your process. And I feel bad for that. She like that too. Yeah. Mm-hmm. I hate this for y'all. I don't have to process. I think just see that.
Oh, it's bad though.
What?
Miss Rosalind, the new lady yesterday, she talks about it.
Yeah. And she loud.
And she's also in the process. She's also with my
Wait, Rochelle.
Rochelle, yeah. Rochelle.
How the hell you say her name?
Whatever. She's in.
Oh yeah, and she loud. And
So
she
there's both of them.
She thinks she knows. My cool. Oh, that's bad. The same person.
So, Kenya, the reason so it's just me, Kristen, TJ,
and Richie. I feel the y'all. Don't smash on nobody. It's gonna be on. I will be praying.
and Kristen's leaving too.
Mm-hmm.
So it's gonna be me and all them people.
What you think about it? Don't you better not start crying. Don't you do that. I know I feel it.
Oh my God,
Look, we gotta make her laugh.
How am I ever gonna heal?
I be like,
I'm touching myself.
I ain't touched nothing. Caitlin, he'll cry. Caitlin cried.
Wow.
We was in here laughing and talking. She was like, how am I gonna survive? And she just started crying. Because everybody, even though they come here, come. Everybody, she got this one right here.
No. Kenya's leaving. Kristen's coming. Sarah. CJ.
I guess when she gets someone else.
That you over CJ and the older lady.
And that's
just
bad.
me, Sarah. And then how am I ever gonna get?
I don't know. She say, I said, you bet that started crying. She started crying. I feel too, cause baby, CJ's a hard work. I want to throw that thing back on her head. So shut up! No, and Maya Angelou said,
Yeah, you know, shit about Maya Angelou.
Carl Walker said. Well, Maya Angelou also said, if you know better, you do better. Oh my god. That is so funny.
I got some gum. I want some.
Oh well.
What? Shut up.
Don't look this way.
I ain't looking at you.
Don't look this way at all.
I want to ask that.
And she gonna tell you no.
Well, she can just tell me.
Cause she tired of y'all asking for
I ain't asking for shit.
Why is my soap? I mean,
it tastes like soap.
Ice tastes like soap.
Then you find out they trying to set the building on fire, and now they trying to poison.
Oh my god. Girl, I ain't gonna take it. I would not do that. That's crazy.
Wait, something else missing. Do she got it? Cause I don't trust it.
What? I ain't took nothing. Where's Jazz at? Jazz! Tell her come here. Come here. I am not still. I ain't touched nothing. I ain't touched nothing.
Touch my shit, I'm gonna break your
I
fingers.
haven't touched nothing.
I'm gonna break your goddamn fingers.
I'm farting in here. Oh my god, it does like.
It was a chicken farting.
Yeah.
Are y'all going to Miss Emily?
She too fake. What do you think? She fake.
I'm going to leave tomorrow.
Yeah. She not too different.
Probably.
But I think
I don't know what the past away.
I don't still. I hate fucking these. I work hard for my money. Cut trees is none of these jobs. It's not easy.
I hate it in here.
I do too. Bitches are mean.
I hate this whole damn situation I got going on. Like, what the fuck? Why me? I'm a good girl. Like, I don't.
How do you get in this situation?
PPS.
With drugs? They drink it.
No, my grandma called on me because I was high, but I mean, I've been high. I've never been not high or drunk. And my grandma called on me and said my daughters were out in the street, the middle of the street in the morning time. Okay, but you know that. If you know it didn't happen. It was bullshit. We got in an argument is what
She
was
wanted
happening.
a kid.
No, she was tired because she didn't win a fucking argument with me, and she was like, I'm just gonna call CPS. And then call them, motherfucker, call them. And I heard she did. I heard her, and then I left. As soon as I heard her on the phone,
What is that smell?
She
She
farted.
farted and ran off.
She always does that. She always acts like it wasn't her. She said, "You smell that? Yeah, we know it's
The
you."
fuck?
She needs a diaper.
That shit is ridiculous.
Suck in that fart.
Stinky booty.
I know we gotta breathe that in and we talk
Big
and
fat stinky. Look, Sarah, bitch, I take paper from it.
what's this Charlotte cooking?
Mm-hmm.
I do not
And I
know.
said I was gonna ask you your candy, and she took your candy.
You try to spit some?
No, I didn't even touch it.
You know, when I leave, y'all be stealing. Y'all know y'all like to steal from me.
I don't
When I spaz out on y'all
I
ass, y'all
don't
go,
steal.
don't
If
say
people work
I'm
hard,
crazy for Coco, okay?
if I thought somebody was stealing, I would go to my bar.
Okay.
Where'd you get the? I know. It's sticking in my finger.
These are the best cakes.
Oh yeah, I like their coffee cakes too.
Oh yeah. I don't think they installed.
I like them, but they store.
Mhm.
She said at the store. No, like I said, I'm gonna ask him and to the pick your shit up. I'm good.
Cause she probably was stealing some too.
I don't steal.
I steal and kill.
I don't steal, but I do steal. Hello. Here.
What the hell?
Hello, cocktails.
Thank you. I need to change for a 20. I'm thirsty.
I got $4.
You ain't gonna let me have $2.
No, but I was working out.
Oh, you so sweet. I don't wanna buy no soda out that soda machine. Cause
Hey, you
when
know
I
how
buy,
I got that money?
huh?
I stole my fucking bag. I can't go with it.
What bag?
My duffel bag.
Let me have it.
I already sold it.
Who stole it?
Sold
You
it.
could have sold it to me.
Duffel bag.
Who you sold it to?
Miss Teresa.
That ain't right.
I didn't know you needed a duffel bag.
I do, cause I got a lot of shit I need to pack Friday.
I'll help you carry it out to
I need bags.
free?
I ain't got no bags.
for free. Garbage bag.
Nah, I got a lot of stuff. Plus my baby toys and stuff. I'm just putting this in
You have a lot of shit.
Mm-hmm.
I got crackers.
You got she put some out.
You want some? No, you want some cream and chives?
We're having sausage, pinto beans, and baked chicken for dinner.
Cream and chives.
I should have
Get you two.
I don't want it.
You want one?
Thank you.
You want one?
You so sweet.
Yeah, mine as well. My fish plan.
You so sweet.
Thank you. I appreciate that, sir.
My girl
Fine.
Kim.
Of course.
But we breaking up when I leave, Sarah.
No, we're not.
So you got the bed.
You think we are, but I'll stalk you. Yes. To stalk you,
So
boo.
now you leave.
I'm gonna find out if I can or not.
Alright, I'm gonna give you my rumble.
Mm.
I'm gonna give you my rumble. Text me.
Okay, because I'm gonna leave soon.
And when you leave again?
More.
Anybody see somebody ride with my pen?
Me!
What kind of pen is it?
It's like my green and
Muscles over there. Looks like that.
Thank you, Brandon.
You're welcome.
You so sick of this.
But ow.
My bad. I didn't think you. I thought you was walking out. I was about to go look at your pen.
On the table? Those are the ones I use for my planners.
You got the glitter ones over there.
But there's only a few of them. There's only like 2 or 3.
I'm going back outside.
You see that time? No. No, we got like 2 seconds.
No!
Yeah.
So you leave continually.
Yeah.
It's so cold in here. I ain't got a jacket
And
up.
Leah,
I said,
hey, Leah lives the same day.
it's cold.
I'm not going to go to Jackson go get it.
But what if something goes missing?
I ain't got shit in there but clothes. You can't fit my clothes.
I ain't trying to get accused, man. We got some thieves.
I got all my shit right here.
Hey.
It's the third draw.
Okay.
If it's not the third one, it's the fourth. It's the third one, I know.
Okay.
So you, Kenya, and Leah leave the same day?
No, we'll leave next week on Thursday. I hate that for Fallon. Fallon was had just a couple of days.
No.
Yep. Like 5. Literally.
You should have stopped her. That's your best friend.
I tried, you know. I gave her a phone number though so she could get home.
Cause she can get home.
Yeah, back to Lufkin.
So she can go meet that boy.
No, that boy
How's
was
she gonna call?
Huh?
How's she gonna call?
She didn't have a phone, but I told you that I called that dude right to tell him that she was leaving to go to one person him. He said, "Well, he didn't see her yesterday. He was here today." I don't even think she knew how to get there to that place.
Well, one minute going home.
Cause I'm living off the road. Broken hearted, drinking dog.
I don't think she knew how to get
Dang,
there.
we got that.
Amazing.
Caleb, where's your phone?
I didn't bring them. Want to take it? You want to go grab them?
Please.
I'm never eating again.
You're eating.
Well, I got to do
You're
that.
eating if you don't want to.
I need to gain some weight.
I'll have to get some.
Have a cracker.
I want a cracker.
It's sour cream pie. Eat
I
it.
call my girlfriend girl. You calling me girlfriend? You calling her? Stop calling her. You like to be water.
His accent. His accent. He's like, project. I mean, not
Legal.
project.
Y'all need to help on my pen.
No, I ain't helping. Listen, I'm about to give you a pen.
I'm not
I
trying to
got
do.
you. Cracker, cracker,
I'll let you
cracker,
know.
cracker.
So I'm trying
Hey, 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 hey.
I ain't never lost.
Yay.
Thank you so much. I can't say nothing.
I looked and I didn't find one that was in the
Did you take one
That's definitely
Huh?
Did you get the one Oh, maybe she took them with her.
All right, we're back. So we're going to continue in this second half of the group to talk a little bit about life skills, what we need to change a little bit, things that we need to revamp, things that we need to get underway, and all of those things we need to look at a little bit. So we're going to go through our little deal here. How many people remember the question for today?
What percent of the world has what's what they're looking at?
Yeah, how many people what percentage of the world write what they look at?
Yeah.
I remember that's where I write with both words. I get it from my grandma.
He said we're not
I
answering the question right
I don't doubt it. So here's the deal. And these are some life skills that we're going to go over pretty quickly. You guys over at South Point, once you finish filling out all of your stuff on there, give them to Miss Kim so she can put them with the sign-in sheets. If you want to put your name on there, that's acceptable. If you don't want to, that's also acceptable. But the very first one, what does it say?
Say no.
Saying no, speaking up for yourself. Assertiveness.
Yeah, so that's being assertive. What's the other two forms? See, this assertiveness means my way of communicating. So what's the other two avenues of communication that we can use?
Listening.
What is it?
Listening.
What?
I don't know.
All right, there's three ways. There's three ways that we communicate.
Talking, listening, and
Talking,
giving
listening.
feedback.
And smelling.
Talking, listening, and smelling. Yeah, that's not it. We communicate either aggressively,
Positively.
passive,
No.
aggressively.
passively, or assertively.
Yeah.
Now, aggressive means it's always my way. I'm in your face. You're going to do it the way I want to do it. I'm going to talk over you.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to interrupt you when you're speaking. That's aggressiveness. You're going to get it's my way or the highway. You're going to do it the way I want to do it, and there's nobody else. That's aggressive. Is that acceptable?
No.
Why is that?
Because it's
It's
disrespectful.
It is very disrespectful, and here's the other thing. I'm not going to fool with you much if you're aggressive. If you're gonna get in my face, if you're gonna speak over me, if you're gonna interrupt me when I'm trying to speak to you, I'm not gonna do that very often. And most of us, if that's our mode of conversation, that's the way we communicate, most people don't want to be involved with you.
Nope.
So, that's not a good coping skill. Passivity, being passive, what does that mean?
Being understanding.
Being understanding, and more likely being stood on. Being passive means whatever you want to do, you do it. I'm going to do everything you want to do. I'm not going to try to stand up for myself at all. I'm going to do you just come up with it. You tell me what you want to do, and we'll do that, whatever that might be. I'm just passive in this thing. Is that a good way to communicate? No. Is that a good way to be?
No.
No. We don't want to be aggressive. Because I will tell you, I know a lot of aggressive people. They usually because I do an anger management group. But when you're aggressive, that means that you usually are suffering from a lot of fear in your life because you're afraid, and so what you do is you come off aggressive, and people don't want to be around you. And then if you're passive, you are also afraid, but you're afraid that people aren't going to like you. Does that matter?
No.
No, because there's people in this room that you're really going to like. There's people in this room that you're not going to like. There's people in this room that you're just going to put up with.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the way it is in life. Not everybody's going to like you. Even if you're fabulous and wonderful and fantastic and you give them money, they still don't like you. So the next thing is being assertive. So what does assertive? What's that mean? What is it?
Being firm in what you say and do.
Say it again.
Being firm in what you say.
Being firm in what you say. Say what? What?
Mean what you say.
Mean what you say. Yeah, you know, one of the things that we as counselors say is we're always going to be firm, fair, and consistent. If I told you this on Monday, it still stands on Friday.
Mm-hmm.
Right? But look, I asked what does assertive mean, and it says so on the page, and not one person in the class said, hey, let me read this.
Oh, saying no, speaking up for yourself.
Oh, say no. Being willing to speak up and stand up for yourself. Is that important?
Yes, it's very important.
Do we usually, now some people do, remember there's always that outlier, and I've always got somebody in any class I ever speak say, well, that ain't true. Because, you know, when I did this, that's what, okay. Well, there's always an outlier, there's always somebody that's a little bit different, okay? And that's okay. But for most of us, when we were in our addiction, were we assertive?
No.
Not usually. Did we stand up for ourselves?
No.
Not usually. We were working to defend what?
You had it.
Our what?
I had it.
A habit. Yeah, we were working when we were in our addiction. We were actively working to defend our addiction. We were lying to who?
Ourselves.
We're lying to ourselves first, saying, I really don't have a problem. I really don't have any issue. If I really wanted to quit,
I could.
I could quit, right? If I really wanted to stop using, I could stop using. So if I know in my knower, if I believe in my belief system that I can quit anytime I want to quit, what does that tell me? That tells me I don't have a problem at all. And if I'm telling myself that I don't have a problem at all, what am I telling you? That I don't have a problem. You know what? You're just mistaken. It may look like I have a problem, but I don't. It may look like things are out of control in my life, but they're not. You know, it's just like when you go into somebody's office and their desk is totally destroyed. It's totally messy all over the place. Everything is everywhere, and you don't know where anything is. And they say, well, it's creative chaos. It looks like it's out of control, but it's not. And we tell people that about our lives. It looks like my life's out of control. It looks like I can't keep a job. It looks like I can't pay my bills. Why does it look like all of that?
Because you can't.
Because that's real. That's real. We're just not accepting it. So we don't need to be aggressive. Aggressive is not good. And look, there's a lot of us, there's some people in this room right here, right now, that uses aggressive communication. And there's one person that's not in this room, but she was in this room, and she uses very aggressive communication. Get in your face, tell you about it. And that's That's not a good way to be, because when we are aggressive in our communication, we are aggressive in our affect. That affect means what? The way I present myself to the world. If I present myself to the world as an aggressive person, I'm pushing people back. I'm pushing people away. And so that's a bad thing. So if I'm presenting myself to the world as a very passive person, guess what happens?
They gonna think you passive.
Yes. And when aggressors see you as a passive person, you're going to become their victim. And I tell you, I'm a lot of stuff. I ain't nobody's victim. Nobody. Once I got out of my addiction, I ain't ever going to be anybody. All right. So we're going to be what?
Assertive.
We're going to be assertive. We're going to be assertive. And if we're being assertive, that means that whatever the situation is, it's going to be a win-win situation. This thing's going to end up good for you and good for me. Right? Both of us need to win. Is that possible?
Yes.
Yes, it is. Both of us can win, if we want it to happen that way. But if I want just me to win, that's not going to work. That's aggressiveness, and that person that you're dealing with pretty soon is not going to want to deal with you anymore. And if I let everybody win all of the time, then I'm going to have a pretty miserable life. So I'm going to be assertive. Sometimes we're going to the restaurant I want to go to. Sometimes we're going to go to the restaurant you want to go to. Now, where my wife and I are concerned, I will tell you that most times we go to the restaurant she wants to go to. But that's okay with me. I like that restaurant. She likes Hamilton. It's a restaurant over there, and it's pretty good. It's a seafood restaurant, and the food is good and reasonable, and the wait staff there are nice. It's a good place to go. Yeah, those floors could be a little clean. We went out to eat there last Saturday, and my wife got shrimp, and the shrimp there are big, and she was pushing a piece of fish on her plate, knocked the shrimp off of her plate, and it hit the floor. It's a shrimp about that big. So she said, "Well, I guess I'll call them over to have them clean that." I said, "No, I'll clean that up." So I got up in an assertive manner. I walked around the table in an assertive manner. I got that shrimp, and I put it on my plate, and I gave her one of my shrimp, so and then I ate that shrimp that was on. You know what that shrimp tastes like?
Dirt.
No, it didn't taste like dirt. It tastes like shrimp. So anyway, we're supposed to be able to say no when it's appropriate for us to be able to say no, right? So you were supposed to put a number down there. Everybody got their number on that?
Yes, sir.
So here's the next thing. Why is it a real coping skill that we learn how to deal with anxiety?
Relaxation, positive self-talk.
I can't hear you when you mumble like that. What was it?
Yeah, number two.
What'd you say?
Coping.
Coping? Look, she done read the thing. So,
because anxiety causes stress.
Anxiety causes stress. Stress causes us to get into a victim stance. Victim stance causes us to not be able to cope and perhaps
shut down.
Relapse. Now, all of this stuff is pointed toward relapse. Yeah. This is the thing. No matter what I'm going to do for the rest of my life, the one thing that I don't want to do is what? Relapse. Because I'm going to tell you, I love this company. I love this building. This is a good building. I love the program that we have here. The food is good. The rooms are nice. Everything, but this ain't where I want to live. No. Once I've gone through here, I need to have gone
home
through here. I don't want to leave saying, "Look, you need to hold me a bed." At some point, now look, having relapse is part of recovery, but it's not the end of recovery. At some point, relapse needs to be a thing of the past. Now, relapse is not fatal, but relapse is not okay either. We keep telling people, okay, it's not a horrible thing that we relapse. It's part of recovery, but it's not okay either. And the reason it's not okay is that 50% of people who go out and relapse don't come back. 50%. 25% of them die. They die in their addiction. That's not okay on any level for any person. It's not okay. The other 50% just stay in their addiction and stay high or drunk, destroy the rest of their lives. That's not okay either. That may even be worse, because they're affecting all of these other people. So although relapse is a part of recovery and it's normal, it's natural, it happens, we don't poo-poo anybody that's relapsed, and we will let you come back all as many times as you want to. It's also not okay. And nobody's going to stand around, not me. I'm not going to pat you on the head and say it's okay that you relapse. It's not okay. We need to figure out why you relapse. Stop doing that. At some point, it needs to stop. Yes, ma'am, you've had your hand up for 30 minutes, and I have ignored you very well. Go ahead.
It's probably a good thing. There's a Christian song, and it's by OAR, and it's called Going Through. It's like, you go in and under, I go through.
Yeah, I have actually heard that, and we decided we can't sing that at our church.
It's really good.
It's too fast. So COVID, because we have people in our church that's 80 years old, 90 years old. And when the praise and worship music starts on a high note, you see them start to hyperventilate. And so coping with anxiety is one of the big things. And how do we do that? We do that by relaxation, positive self-talk. And we've taught that a lot in here. And y'all know how much positive self-talk I've been hearing here lately?
A lot. A million.
I haven't heard any from anybody.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody.
You ain't been
I say, how you doing this morning? Well,
I'm alive. I told you great.
I'm here. You did tell me great.
I'm great.
I'm here. My lumbago acting up.
I beg to differ.
I beg to differ. Yeah. All of that kind of stuff. We need to be telling people who we want to be. I'm fantastic. I'm fabulous. I'm wonderful. I'm rich, young, good looking. That's who I am. See, even the boss lady comes and steal people right out of the group.
She won't be here. I don't know. I did this. She said yes. We'll figure it out. One of us will get sent.
So anyway, positive self-talk. You need to be speaking positive about who you are. And most of the time when I tell people that, they tell me they don't want to lie about it. If I'm sick, I'm sick. Okay. I can understand that. I can get behind that. I can understand that. But here's the deal. I don't want you to think you're not sick. If you're sick, you're sick. But when I use positive self-talk, that's me telling you what I want to be. That's me telling myself what I want to be. Most of the time when I'm using positive self-talk, I'm talking to me. And you just happen to be in the room. You spark the conversation, but the conversation is mostly with myself. Because when you say, well, how you feeling? How do I want to feel? I'm 71. Let me tell you something. I got some things that hurt. I got some things. Sometimes when I get up, it takes me a long time to do that. It's farther from the seat to the standing position than it used to be. There's some things like that. But that's not okay with me. So when somebody says how you feel, I'm feeling fantastic. I'm feeling great. That gets into my psyche, and I begin to feel better. So another coping skill, how about anger management?
Yes.
Anybody have an issue with anger?
Yes.
All these angry people in here, man. Everybody, just about everybody in here. What makes you angry, man?
I wrote a poem on it. A lot of things make me angry, especially if I can't do it the first time or do it right or effectively.
Yeah.
It makes me
What makes you angry?
Say it.
People talking loud.
People talking loud.
Very loud.
People talking very loud.
Or over talking people or over talking me when I'm talking.
Okay, that's enough. We don't want to hear no more out of you.
That's the
Oh.
biggest.
What makes you angry, man?
All kinds of stuff. Disrespect.
Disrespect?
Yes.
Yeah, I hear that one a lot.
Yes.
I don't like disrespect either.
But I can say I carry that trait also.
Yeah.
So it's,
Yeah.
gotta work on that.
Double-edged sword.
What makes you angry?
Right.
I don't like when people tell me what to do with my kids. And
You don't
I
like
don't
when people tell you what to do with your kids? Well, I'm going to tell you right now, don't eat them. Don't eat your children.
I'm just trying to not even count.
Yeah, she didn't get angry. So anybody who said you had anger issues, what makes you angry? You're not having, you got anger issues?
Yeah.
What makes you angry?
Everybody.
Everybody makes you angry. Y'all need to quit. Y'all sitting back there, y'all making her angry. Stop it.
Things that are outside of my control.
Things that are outside your control. Yeah, you know, we did an anger group in here at one time. We're gonna do another anger group. You know,
Angry people, angry birds.
I don't think it's gonna
I
help.
think angry birds are the cutest things ever.
I don't think it's gonna help you, but you know, we're gonna do it because we did it before, and you know, all of the things that you guys told me made you angry, they have one thing in common. What is that?
And be mad.
Me?
Mad.
Oh, you?
Yeah.
What is it?
Being mad.
Being mad?
No, it's
Anger,
it's
hate, and rage.
Expressing anger without
only you,
Fair.
if you allow things to make you angry.
Yeah,
they
we
make you
choose
angry.
to be.
They're all
They have
they're,
power
You let it bother you.
they're all wrong. Yeah.
Yeah.
All of those things that you told me made you angry is not true. It's a lie.
No, you make you
It's
angry.
because you
That's
make yourself
You
mad.
allow
and
yourself
about
to
it.
be angry.
Fear.
You want to be
anger,
angry.
It's fear. Anger is fear. It's false
Right, you
emphasis.
wanna be
Well,
angry.
see, here's a teacher now, so she can teach the rest of the class.
You want to be
I
angry.
don't know who certified her, but you know.
No.
Anyway,
The doctor.
anger is a secondary emotion.
Yeah.
You need to learn that anger is a secondary emotion.
I'm just
It rides
participating.
in on a primary emotion. You need to figure out what it
So you want me
is
not to
that you need to figure out what it is, the primary emotion is, and then that will take care of the secondary emotion.
Yes, sir.
So we need look. Anger is something that people don't deal with that well. You know, if you're an angry person, you're not going to have a whole lot of friends. If you're an angry person, what happens when you get angry?
You be mad at everybody. The whole
You start to
world.
cry sometimes.
What is it?
You start to cry and then you start
You
to
start
get
to cry.
If I
Slam
get mad
things.
enough,
break things.
if I get mad enough, I cry.
You cry.
If
When I get mad, I slam things. I break
and my
things.
You
blood
break,
pressure
you
goes
break
up.
things. And so that wasn't what I was looking for. That is the ignorant actions that we take because of our intelligence level. Because here's the deal: when you and I had it on the board, but when you and the guys at South, I know y'all remember this. But when you get angry, when you allow yourself to become angry, your IQ drops by 40 points.
Yep.
And so you'll do stuff, say stuff like break things, which is ridiculous.
Punch
And, you know,
things.
you don't punch things. You'll do all sorts of things.
Anger is one letter away
That
from danger.
is not conducive to having good relationships or anything like that. So you need to understand that anger is a choice, and anger is your what?
Anger is one letter away from danger.
Oh well, that's yeah.
Anger
Anger
is
is
the
one
best
letter
mechanism.
away from danger. Yeah, that's cute, but we ought to know that this crud that we allow to happen in our lives, we allow that.
Yep.
And if I allow that, if I choose that, guess what else? I can unchoose it.
Yep.
I can choose not to get angry. So anger, expressing anger without aggression, self-harm, or acting out. How do you do that? I can tell you when I don't like something. I can let you know that hurt my feelings. But you see where the anger comes from? My hurt feelings. Most anger comes from, like you said, fear. Most anger comes from fear. Usually when somebody gets angry a lot, they're scared people. So you need to figure out what on earth am I so afraid of. Once you figure that out and you fix that situation, then you won't have to be afraid anymore. I mean, you won't have to, well, you won't have to be afraid, but you also won't have to choose to be angry, really. Because anger can bother you. You can get it gets some bad things going on. It also keeps you from doing the next coping skill. Anger management is a huge coping skill. I make thousands and thousands of dollars a year from angry people. And anger class, my anger class, pretty cheap. The first one is $80. That's pretty cheap.
They're usually
Just $80 for the first class. $50 of that is for the assessment, and then every class after that for 14 classes is $30 a class.
Yeah, they're usually 150.
Huh?
They're usually
Yeah. So you can come to my class for $30 as long as we have, at least 10 other people in the class, or at least 9 other people. I do it with 10 people. So how much money is that you make every night with 10 people?
$800.
How much?
No.
800.
How much?
Wait, how many?
You said how many?
If it's 10 people
$80.
and you get $30,
Oh, $30 per person?
yeah,
That's $300.
$300 a night. If you have 10 people.
And how long is the class last?
14.
No,
14
but how long are the sessions?
2 hours.
Whoa, so they're the same time as an expensive class.
I get $150 a class, but you're paying $30. I make $300 a class, but it's $150 an hour, but you only have to pay $30. That's a real good deal. All right, so the next one is not possible unless you deal with the anger management thing. Resolving conflicts. That's a real big coping skill, isn't it? That's something that you need to do. Let me ask you this. How many people in either one of the classes know that you're going to have some conflicts when you get out of here? Yeah. Life is about conflicts. You're going to have some conflicts. There's going to be people telling you how to deal with your children. I don't like that. I'm going to get angry. So there's going to be a conflict. Can I make one little observation?
Yes. Yeah.
If you don't want people telling you how to deal with your children, stop using drugs around your children. I didn't say that. That just kind of slipped out, But you got to know that ain't a good deal, right?
Yeah.
So resolve those. Handling interpersonal disagreements calmly and effectively. Do you know that when we get angry, remember, our IQ drops by up to 40%, not 40%, by up to 40 points. And in America, the normal IQ is between 90 and 120. And so if it's at 90 and you lose 40 points off that, what is it? 50. What level is that retardation? What level is that? 70 is retardation. So when you get angry and your IQ drops to 50, you are profound. This is why you will break things. This is why you will scream at people. This is why you will hurt people. This is why you will tell them things you should never tell them. It's why you shoot people, stab people, kill people, run over people, run off, leave people, do all kinds of, because you're profoundly in a state of retardation. Because think about it. Look at the last time you got angry. Was that a good situation?
No.
It never. Anger never leads to a good situation. Never. Because we get to that place where we'll do, say, act like anything we want. And I've told the groups a whole bunch, but let me tell y'all one more time. We operate on two different things. We operate on emotions and we operate on our intellect. Your intellect is your reasoning part. Your intellect is the reasoning part of your brain, and then your emotions are your primitive part of your brain. And so when we allow our emotions to get up over our intellect, guess what happens? We'll do stupid stuff even though we know, intellectually we know This is the wrong thing to do. This is going to change my life. This is going to change my relationship. This may get me in prison, but I'm going to do it because I want to, because I'm angry. So we let our emotions override our intellect, and we do things we know we shouldn't do. We do them anyway. So when we're resolving conflicts, we cannot allow our emotions to override our intellect. I watched a thing on Facebook the other day where they had a road rage incident where this guy pulled up behind this other guy. Big old guy jumped out of the car here and he runs back to the car behind him, and he got a little guy ran with him, like, a little puppy following the big guy, and the big guy started punching in the window. Yeah, and I see that. Why? It's stupid. So he did that because he was angry. The guy inside the car fired 3 shots. Bam, bam, bam. The guy took off running down the road, looked at his hand, fell dead. So what did anger help him?
Lose his life.
I saw another one where there was a lady was sitting in a parking space that was for people with disabilities, and a guy walked over. He was a pretty small guy, and he walked over and told her. He said, "Do you realize you're in a disabled people, handicapped parking space?" And she didn't say anything, but her husband came out of the store, walked over and pushed that guy down. About time he had hit the ground, he had pulled his gun and shot him once in the chest. The guy turned around, the aggressor turned around, ran back to the store. When he got in, and went in the store with his 4-year-old son following him into the store. When he got into the store, back to the counter, he fell over dead. See, so being an aggressor is not a good thing. Having that anger bring you down, you're going to do something stupid like that, that's not a good place. You resolve conflicts, in a, what does it say, handling interpersonal disagreements calmly and effectively. You could have walked up to the guy and said, "Hey, what's going on?" She parked in. Okay, well, we're moving it now. That would have been everything. That would have been all of it. You know what they did? You know what the police did to the guy that shot him?
Nothing.
He was fearing for his life. This guy was 3 times his size. An aggressor was yelling at him and punched him in the chest. And, he had every right in the world. So we need to learn how to deal with that. The only reason we have issues, the only reason we have conflicts that go the wrong way is because we allow ourselves to get angry. What should you do when you feel yourself beginning to get angry? When they talk about heating up, hot under the collar, a bluer top, all of that stuff, that really does happen. Our temperature goes up when we are getting angry. What should you do?
Walk away.
Walk away. We should walk. Why don't we walk away?
Because you're too mad to walk away.
We don't walk away because our stuff is starting. Our intelligence level is dropping. We feel like we're going to be cowardly or whatever if we walk away. But if walking away is the best thing in the world. Take some deep breaths, drink some water, go to the bathroom. All of those things. So right below that, what's that? What's the next coping skill? Employment skills. Is that important?
Yeah.
That's important. Why is that important?
Because we can't find a job, then.
If I don't know how to do something, nobody's going to pay me to do nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm sure I'm sure there's a job out there somewhere where you go and you do just nearly nothing. I go to the dump where I live and throw all of our household garbage away, and there's an old guy in there there's always got a retired person sitting in that little booth there. Some of those guys, that's all they ever do is sit in that little booth. You throw your garbage in the thing and you go by. Every now and then they'll wave if they've got a little extra energy that day. Some of them get out, sweep the thing, do all of that stuff and do some good stuff, but they can probably do that. We got to have some type of skill if I'm going to get a job. If you go somewhere and say, I'd like to go to work for you guys, and they ask you, well, what can you do? And you say nothing. How many people think you're going to get that job?
I know.
Whatever that is. So finding a job, finding one that's, that's something that you would like, interviewing for the job. We need to know how to sit in an interview.
Sell ourselves.
Yeah, I've had people. I don't do that here, but in past lives, I have hired and fired, and I've had people come in that were not dressed well, hadn't shaved, had a.
Determine the outlook of their job.
Say it again.
That determine the outlook of their job.
Yeah.
Yes.
Even if they're qualified.
No. Even if a person's qualified, you look. And how about if you want to be a welder? How should you dress to go to that interview?
As a welder.
As a welder?
Casual look.
Casually?
All interviews should be
You just look nice.
I would, if I'm going to be a welder, I would go in a suit.
Yeah.
I'm not going to weld that day. I'm going to interview.
Yeah.
And when I go in, I need to look the best I can. I need to sound the part. I need to let them know I'm looking for a job as a welder, but I am more than that. I can be whatever. If you want me to move into the office at some point, I can do that. So we need to be going in there looking good, interviewing, getting a job. I've had people whom I hired, they didn't come back. We had one lady we hired. She came to work that day. She worked. She was there about 4 hours, and she said, "I am so sorry, but I have to leave today early, but I'll be back in the morning. Get this released." I said, "Okay." Okay. So she left. The next day, she didn't come in. The next day, she did come in, but she only worked about 3 hours. And it went that way for about 5 days until finally she said, "Look, I'm going to have part of the day off tomorrow." I said, "Ma'am, you can have the whole day off. Matter of fact, take the rest of your life. Take the rest of your life. If you get the job, you need to be prepared to do the job. Mm-hmm. And do it there and do it well, doing all that. Because the next thing is what? Keeping the job. Keeping the job. A lot of times we can get a job, but not keep the job. So we need to be able to keep the job, stand there. Coping with trauma. What is trauma?
Effectively managing her memory loss.
Yeah, some nasty stuff. Everybody has trauma that happens in their life. So, effectively managing hurtful memories or losses. Y'all know I just talked to you guys a little bit about I don't know who that was.
Amber.
What are they? It's 5 guys just walked by the door there.
Oh, they're bringing in boxes of stuff.
Oh, okay. Yeah. All right, so that's half of that group over there is over here.
Yeah. He's like, well, that's wonderful. Get on, Doctor.
I'm coping with stuff right now.
You're coping with trauma.
I am coping with some trauma. So we need to cope. How many? About a week ago, I went to a funeral. A friend of mine died. He was 51, and his mom and dad were there. And this was their second son that had passed away on. And so, do you know how much trauma that is in a person's life? Your children should outlive you.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
They should be around. Look, it's their job to bury you, right? It's not your job to bury them. So that's a real traumatic thing. But are you going to have to deal with that trauma?
Yeah.
You're going to have to deal with that? We are going to have to deal with that.
He said they were handling it pretty well, though.
Yeah, they seem to be at this point. I'm not really sure how well I would deal with something like that. But we would have to get to the place where whatever that trauma is, we're gonna have to deal with it. And look, I do know that there are people right now that are having a real problem dealing with trauma that happened when they were 7 or 8 years old. That trauma doesn't just go away. It causes what?
Traumatic.
PTSD,
Yes.
stuff like that. And so, we have to learn how to deal with that stuff. Why do you want to deal with it? Why not just live in it?
Because it's addictive.
Because it'll make you go the drugs around.
It will make you get back. It can get you into that place of victimhood where you are going to be right back in there using that same drug again. And so that's not a good plan on any level, is it? No, it's not. So we need to get to how you're going to deal with trauma.
By talking it out.
By talking it out. You may need to go see a counselor. You may need to go see a therapist. You may need to go, see a psychiatrist. Whatever it takes to get that talked out and dealt with. You need to first acknowledge it in your own life, and then talk about it and move on from there. But it's never going to ever go away. And again, there are outliers. There may be somebody that'll tell you when they completely forgot about that. I sometimes think that that's a weird coping skill where they're lying to themselves, because usually if something happens like that, you don't forget about that kind of stuff. So the next one, and we're not going to finish these up today, but the next one is social skills. And what does that mean?
Building new
Your ability to
relationship and meeting new friends.
You read that very well. Did that? Even with all that candy in your mouth. That's amazing. And we need to have social skills, build good social skills so that we can build positive relationships.
Yeah.
We talk about not going back to the old people in our lives, but let me tell you something that's a real truism. We've got to have people in our lives, right?
Yeah.
We're going to want to have people in our lives. So if the ones that we have are not positive, then we need to go make some.
What the heck did I do?
She had a
No, I was talking about the dudes outside.
wardrobe malfunction. So we're building new positive relationships. We're building new friends or meeting new friends. Where are you going to find new friends?
And recovering.
At
In
church.
recovery,
Church, NA.
in AA, at
Church.
church, at your job. That was a good.
Yeah.
That's not always a good one.
Now everybody at your job
Is not your
is
friend.
either sober or in recovery. Is that true?
No.
Not necessarily. No, they
Everybody
could be a
not with
whole lot of drunks or a whole lot of addicts working where you work. So you need to be what?
Yeah, I'm trying to tell you this for precautions. Yes.
You look. Sometimes you can't tell the difference. We just talked about functioning addicts and alcoholics, but you need to know. Because you may wind up going out to eat lunch with them. You don't want to go out to eat lunch with somebody whose lunch is going to be 2 margaritas, right? You don't want to do that. So we've still got a few of these. We'll do those tomorrow. But I want to know what's the percentage of people in the world who are left-handed people? What do you think?
12%.
12%.
I don't know.
40%.
27%.
27%.
38.
38.
50%.
50%. So if some of you on the over at South, if y'all got the answer, then let Miss Kimberly know. What y'all been doing is writing it down so that we have your name and all of that stuff, and then we'll make sure you get a donut on Friday. Make sure your name's on the list. Make sure I can read them, and then I'll pick all those up here this afternoon. Here in a minute, but they're in the not just in the United States. Let me read this. Let me read this off of here. Some of you thought, look, how many people know people who are left-handed?
My counselor's left-handed.
My son is.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah.
Wow. So approximately 10%.
Oh wow,
You
you were
got
close.
10% of people in the world
I
are
feel
left.
Very, very, very low.
Yeah, that's very low. Some of you thought it was very high. 50% would mean that everybody in here, half of us were left-handed. So how many people in here are left-handed? You're left-handed.
Mm-hmm.
So we got one.
Yeah.
You said
Ambidextrous.
she
She's
said
left-handed.
that girl's left-handed.
Yeah.
You know, back in the 1500s and the 1400s and stuff like that, they would kill you because they thought that people who were left-handed were of the devil.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yep.
And I, you know,
Of the devil.
I've been kind of wondering about some of y'all.
I couldn't nobody left.
Yeah, never trust anybody left-handed.
I don't.
I don't.
I do
You don't
not.
trust Jack?
I just don't trust you if you're
I do
left-handed.
not trust Jazz either.
I don't trust nobody.
Well, that's it for today. But thank you. We'll be back tomorrow, and we will finish